Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Mike with This Old Hot Rod. Up here in beautiful Middleborough, Massachusetts, working on the 27T Roadster today. What I'm working on is the bump or the sheet metal that's going to go over the back of the bell housing on the back of the flathead. This right here is in front of the shift tower, and then I got to build the second panel that's going to go around and behind the shift tower. So I already got my template laid out, spent a few minutes before I ran up to the house and grabbed my camera. I'm going to get right into transferring it over to metal and putting it in the car. So what I'm going to end up needing to do is I'm going to need to use my English wheel to get some shape in this panel. So it actually needs to curl down like this. It's going to take a little bit of work to get that. We'll see how it goes today. Maybe my skills have improved a little. I don't know. We'll see. But that's always the goal, right? The more you do this, the better your skills should become. Sheet metal. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a piece of sheet metal and we're going to get to laying that out. It should be big enough. Alright, so I'm just going to figure out the best spot to lay this out at. Grab my plasma cutter. We're going to get this cut out real quick. I absolutely love this cart. I know I've told you guys that in the past, but you know what a difference having that cart makes. Let's get to cutting this out. What an awesome little tool. Right now, if you go on Yes Welder's website and look at the prices on these with the discounts that they are offering on their website, not necessarily my discount. If you do end up using my discount, which is, excuse me, TOHR10, all capital letters, TOHR10, you get 10% off the machine. But this is still a new machine, and I think they're still doing some pretty good promotions. There are guys getting this machine for right around $300 to $350, brand new, shipped to them. You're not going to beat it for the price, and you guys see me using this machine in almost every single video now. It's been flawless, and even if you're just doing sheet metal work, no dust. After using it the amount that I've used it, I wouldn't hesitate. If I had the money and I was in the market, I would not hesitate buying one of these machines. I'm going to get this fine-tuned in the shear and then start shaping it. I'm going to lay out my lines where I need to tip the edges after, because I need to curve this piece of sheet metal to mimic this. And that's going to be fun. I'm going to head on over to the English wheel and I'm going to start shaping this panel. Figure out which die I want to use, a lower die. So my dies range from almost flat to a semi-crown. Alright, so these go from the flattest to the steepest. I think the passenger or the driver's side needs a little bit more shape, and I need it to be a little bit tighter because of the pedals and the lack of room where the pedals are. So I'm gonna just take my time. Just walk this panel back and forth. You guys can already see it's starting to shape up. Shapes up pretty quick with this steep crown die on. And I also don't have the rubber band on the wheel, so I'm getting this shape and side to side, so I'm getting front to back and side to side at the same time. Kind of keep an eye on how things are shaping up, and if I need to straighten it out a little bit or I need to just get my side to side curve, I'll put my rubber band back on. Now, I wasn't ever taught how to do this. I watched Iron Trap Garage just like everybody else, and I watched Matt doing his thing and learned how to do this stuff. Alright everyone, I'll show you where I'm at. So you guys saw me shape up this panel. So what I ended up doing is just going up to the garage, measured out my flanges, and got my edges. These flanges broke, and my box pan break. Now what I need to do is I need to tip this edge around the front edge. The reason why is without this edge flanged up, broken up, this panel's too long and the back of it hits the shift tower. So I need to break this edge up. So I put my tipping die in my bead roller. I'm gonna run it through my bead roller. And as you can see, I'm adding a little bit of upwards pressure to the panel. You can see that's already, you can see it's already starting to come around. I actually think I want to put a metal die on the bottom of that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I just kind of figure it out as I go. I think I'm getting pretty close. I'm going to go set this in the car and see where I'm at. I got quite a bit of space. More than I had planned. I'm losing a little bit of foot room. I think I may drop it down some though. Like I said, I want to just make a quick mark. See how it's a little big. I'm trying to hug the passenger side some to give me enough room for my gas pedal, which is going to be up in this area. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is, you can see the flanges that I broke on these bottom edges, both sides. What I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut those off. And then I'm going to re-break it a ½ inch up. And I'll end up having to remove this section here and this section here. Something like that. So I'm going to end up re-breaking it, and what I'm going to do, essentially that'll drop the whole thing down to ½ inch. I think that's going to end up putting me where I need to be. Knocking it down to ½ inch, I think it'll be just right. I'm going to end up just trimming that back just a touch. So what I'll do is probably just throw a few self-tappers in here for now. I'm not going to do all the holes, just a couple here and there. I don't know what I'm going to do for a throttle pedal yet, so I don't want to secure this to the transmission or to the firewall and the floor pins yet. I feel like I'm probably going to end up having to take this out. Maybe have to section this area here and flip it upside down. I'm not sure. Give the pedal a place to go into, to recess. And until I get my pedal set up, I don't know where it's going to need to be. I can't do that until these are built. So let's go set this in the car and see how it looks. It's going to go something like that. Now this floorboard's kind of loose, so it's really not accurate how it's going to sit. Probably going to be something like that. This way, favoring the passenger side. Something like that. Plenty of room for my brake pedal. So I'm going to grab a couple self-tapping screws and get that set in place. Phase 1 complete. Now you can see the floors are really stiffening up. That's good. Next piece to do is this. I'll end up having to modify this, cut those off. That's why I didn't want to weld it in place. So next piece, I'm going to grab my ram board, build a template out of my ram board for this, and get to shaping this. I should hopefully be able to line it right up and get that welded in place. This is somewhere in this area here. So what I'm going to do is actually going to just cut this out. Just hold that back for now. Now I can get this curled around the transmission. Kind of get an idea of where I need to be. I'm going to fold it in half. So this is the mirror image of the driver's side. Which, as far as I know, I think both sides of the transmission look the same. Now I know I need to break this the other way, but as soon as you break it, it folds back the other way just as easy. So now what I need to do is create a little bit of shape on these edges. The top is going to be somewhat flat. It's going to kind of look like that. And then what I'll have to do is figure out how I'm going to shape the back, unless I'm just going to go down. That'll be a lot of work there, so I'm going to I'll probably cut it short here and then build some type of a blister on the end. Alright, let's head over to the car and we'll see how this fits. The front edge will flare out on both sides, so I'll do that in the metal shaping process. There won't be anything added here because I'm about 1/4 of an inch in front of the shift tower, so that'll stay just like it is. It'll just get attached on either side of the transmission tunnel in the front portion of it. Now what I need to do is I kind of need to figure out the back half of this. And what I mean by that is I'm going to draw a line here and a line here because I can't really see where the transmission ends. So now drawing that line, I can get a good idea of where it ends and where I need to finish my bump. Alright guys, I want to show you where I'm at. Oh, the camera's a little dark. Here's the transmission tunnel that I'm working on. It's kind of been a little bit of a struggle. I'm really just taking my time. I didn't realize I wasn't filming because I've been running up and down, back and forth from the top garage to the little garage. I forgot to turn the camera back on, so I ended up just putting this in my slip roll and bending either side, for the most part pretty much even, I think. And then what I did was I ended up removing the flange. See the flange here? And I removed it on this side as well. At that point, I took my hammer and the top of oxyacetylene bottle, and I started shaping these ends here, the front edges, where it flares out and goes onto the front portion of the transmission tunnel or the bell housing. What I want to do is I'm going to grab another piece of sheet metal, just some scrap that I have, and I'm going to go up in the brake and bend it over in the slip roll, just like I did this, to get the same profile. And then I'm going to end up adding it to the back of this. So it's going to be the same profile all the way around. I'll just have to weld the corners in and then weld across the top and the back. But I think that's going to be the best look. So that's what we've got at this point. I'm kind of limited on space, so I need to drop it straight down in the back, more or less, to give me the room I need to run this compartment behind the transmission. But it's fitting good. I had to notch it around this bump on the driver's side of the transmission tower on the. But I think it's going to look pretty good once I get that back section figured out. There's a nice clean look to it. So I'm going to go up to the slip roll and roll another section of this metal to get this profile, and then come back down and get it fit in, tacked in place. And that's probably going to be it for me for the night once I get that done. It's getting a little late, and I'm going to go hang out with little Miss Allie. Let's get this done. So I'm going to roll this area here in the slip roll. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just setting it in the slip roll and bending it. And then I'm going to break my flange on the back of it. And then once that's done, I'll be able to get it cut down and figure out exactly how it needs to fit. Get this bent in the slip roll and this edge broke. Now what I need to do, and I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it, is figure out the profile, where to cut this. And I feel like I am definitely going to screw this up. That's where I'm at so far. You see in there? It's getting there. Definitely some fine tuning needed, but I'm slowly figuring it out.
I walked all the way from East St. Louis to town. And I wonder what's gonna come of me. I see a dark cloud rising, and I wonder what's gonna come of me. And when I die, won't you please remember me?
Alright, we're back at it. Grab a couple screws. I'm going to zip this panel in. And I'm only going to use a few screws at the moment, and I'll show you why. I have my line marked off on my floor pan. Alright, so now that I have it fixed in place in the back, now what I'm going to do is attach it to the front portion of the firewall of the bell housing. I'm going to attach it here, and then I'll be able to unscrew the front, remove it all, take these two screws out, then the screws across the front, remove it all out in one piece. Next thing I got to do. This is my transmission tunnel. I'm gonna notch it out a little bit more for the shift tower. But now what I need to do, you can see where it's attached and it's overlapping. I'm gonna start up here on the inside edges and then work my way out. I'm gonna switch out my cutting disc.
Time I hobo, gonna have my woman by my side. And next time I hobo, gonna have my woman by my side. And if you make it to St. Louis, folks, stop by on the other side. I see a dark cloud rising now. What's gonna come of me? I see a dark cloud rising now. What's gonna come of me? And yes, when I die, won't you please remember me?
Alright, so that's it for now, sitting there. I'm gonna screw it back into the car so I know it's right where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna start tack welding it in place. But I'm really happy with the way it looks, happy with the way it turned out. Fire up my light under here so we can see. There we go. Alright, we'll get some screws. This thing bolted or screwed down into place for now. There is the transmission bubble or the transmission tunnel. I took a couple of the screws out that I had put in to temporarily hold it in place. And I just mounted this. I've said in the past I'm going to add a couple of pieces of metal tubing or maybe do wood, cut some wood with holes in it. But that is going to be my cup holder, the hidden cup holder. I've seen a few other people actually use the idea of using different types of boxes and stuff. One guy on Instagram used a lunchbox, an old lunchbox, which I think is a really cool idea. But I'm happy with that, and that is the last major piece of the floor structure. I do have to fill in a few more spots. So I get this hole here in the firewall, and I have around the steering column. Now I can actually sit in the car and actually feel like what it's gonna be like. Let's do that right now. Why not, right? Alright guys, let's hop in. Whoa, windshield just sitting there. Woo! It's closing in. Alright, so my clutch here, my brake pedal, and my fuel's gonna be, I may end up having to put it up here. I don't really want to, but I may have to. I may end up having to change the pedal pads that I have. I have F1 pedal pads. I may end up having to get smaller ones or making smaller ones. I'm happy with the way things look. I got plenty of room for the clutch pedal, plenty of room for the brake. So far, so good. Hey, you guys want to do hot rod sounds? Blah, 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 blah. Let's hope it sounds a little better than that. Yeah, guys, I'm pumped. Getting there. You can see a cup hole's gonna be right there. It's the exact same width as the transmission tunnel. I hadn't planned on that, but that just worked out. I think that's a pretty neat thing, and I'm glad to see other people are adopting that idea. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for me for the floor pans on the 27T. Going to wrap up this video here. I want to say thanks for everyone for following along. Appreciate the support. This is me making up for a template video 2 days ago, or 2 videos ago. There was just too much of a gap in time and days between the templates and turning the templates into the sheet metal. So I know I probably don't need to apologize, but I really don't like putting out a video just me cutting out paper. Essentially it's what that was, but I didn't have time to get back out to the garage to work on the sheet metal and then add that to the second portion of that video. So I apologize. Hopefully this video and the previous video have made up for that, and we're gonna start getting into some pretty fun stuff. I mean, as far as like, you know, roll bar and headlight bar and throttle linkage and gas pedal and all that stuff, the fun stuff. So I have goosebumps. I have the chills right now. I'm getting so close to the home stretch on this car, and this will be the first car that I've literally taken from just a body to a chassis to a roller to a drivetrain to sheet metal to hopefully soon a run and driving car. I had thoughts about maybe just jumping right back onto the 29 sedan because I'm actually further along on that car than I even am on this car, but I think I really need to get back onto the 34 because in my mind there are people wanting to see that car done, and not the YouTube viewers. Brad Barrows, who owned the car from 1985, and then George Ryan, the original builder of the car, and not to mention Walter Ash. So there are some pretty important people in my life that are following along that would really like to see that car built, and I want to make sure that that happens. So as soon as I'm done with the 27T, I'll be driving it and picking away at it, but my main project, my main focus pretty soon, the next couple of months, is going to be the 34, and I'll see that one through as well. So that 34 is actually going to end up coming down to this garage. I'm going to end up moving all the tools down, my box pan brake, my jump shear, slip roll, all the big tools. I'm going to end up moving down here, so there's going to be some shuffling going on down here in the garage. Yeah, big things coming when the 34 gets down here. It's really going to be something, so really looking forward to that. And just getting back onto all my other projects, 29 Roadster, 29 Sedan, and we have the Blomberg Coopster that's in pieces. I recently just picked up a chassis for that, really nice chassis. That's going to go out and get sandblasted pretty soon. So be picking away at a little bit of everything, but my main focus pretty soon is going to be the 34 Coupe, but not till we're driving this flathead powered 27 Roadster. This is my Pine Tree Jamboree race car. This is also going to be the Racer Gentleman 2022 entry, so I'm really looking forward to the Pine Tree Jamboree and Trog come October. So I'd like to be able to really put some shakedown miles on this thing, and then just go tear it loose, tear it up, and just turn the thing loose and see what it can do. So thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate you guys following along. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Just follow along. Let's keep this train rolling. See you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.